Good morning. Thank you for joining us here at Earth and Sky, and those of you online, we really appreciate you spending your Sunday mornings with us. And today I wanted to get right on into it. We're going to be talking about journaling and the power that can come from journaling. It was interesting. I was just having a little bit of a talk with someone here this morning that had a paper that I had written, and she could feel the energy and the essence, the power flowing off the paper itself. So journaling is so much more than just words. You're actually putting what you want in your conscious mind, and from your superconscious mind, getting it down into the concrete, into this manifest world, so you can really start creating what you want in your life. And there's so many other reasons to journal as well. I know for some people, journaling seems like a really time-consuming, unpleasant task, and they might feel like they just don't have the interest in putting pen to paper or keyboard if you're a more modern journaler. And but I'm going to go into a few reasons why you really should consider changing that this week. So one of the things that journaling can really help with is clearing your mind. It can also help you to de-stress. Those two things often go hand in hand. In this busy world that we often live in, there's so much that comes at us every day from so many different angles, and to be able to just clear your mind, to have a space where you can release and let go of what's going on in your head, because to be able to clear it, you have to let it go out somewhere, and it can either go out in your behavior, maybe in unwanted ways at times, or unwanted ways. But if you just journal it, put your pen down to paper and write what you're thinking. You don't even have to be looking for a solution. You can simply be writing your thoughts. That's going to start clearing it out, and then it's going to also immediately start bringing some clarity to you as well. Because as soon as you start writing it, even the things that seem very challenging in your life or very abstract and hard to get your brain around, those things are going to start to come into a bit more of a focus as you put words to it. Oftentimes we can feel like we're swimming in our thoughts, and it becomes very overwhelming. All of the things that we're trying to figure out in life, all of the challenges that we face, whatever is going on in your life, whether it's relationships or work or whatever it is, it becomes a bit overwhelming because it's the emotion that's behind it when you're in your thoughts. Once you start putting pen to paper, it begins to take out a bit of that emotion and put it into concrete thought forms that you can actually articulate. And some of it might be emotional as you start writing, depending on your personality and what you're thinking about. And even if it is very emotional, if you're writing out your thoughts and your feelings and just pouring your emotions onto the paper, that too will bring clarity. It gets all of that extra junk out of your head and starts to clear it, so you have more space to focus on your day. Which brings us to the next point of journaling will help bring focus to your mind. It can actually help enhance your memory, it can enhance your focus, and it can enhance your ability to have more power in your life to really manifest what you're wanting. Because again, one of the things we talked about in a previous life talk was how to be happy. And for a lot of people, most people want to be happy. They just sometimes don't know how to be happy. And the first step of that is being able to name what it means to be happy. What would it take for you to be happy? So it's not just a thought or a concept, but putting words to it. Again, that's where journaling helps. It can help you articulate the words, and as soon as you get those words articulated and you start recognizing and thinking and being able to look over and read what it is you're thinking, whether it's things about the future, things about the past, or just the present day, whether it's the intellectual side of things or the emotional side of things, putting that down to paper is going to be extremely powerful for bringing focus, clarity, and also releasing all of that excess. One of the other things that can be really great from journaling is focusing on gratitude. Sometimes when you're journaling, the first thing you feel like doing might be to write the positive, or it might be that you need to write all of those things that you're frustrated about, all the things that you're upset about, all of the things that just don't seem fair or right or whatever in your life. But as soon as you finally get done, and you will feel like there's a stopping point eventually, then start to think about what what you're grateful for, what is working in your life. And oftentimes what you'll find quite naturally happening as you're journaling and writing and clearing out the brain of all the frustrations, at some point most likely you're going to start to turn to what you're grateful for or what is working, or you'll just start to feel that sense of peace. And as soon as you feel that peace come in, or you feel like you're finished, think about what's working, write that down, and that's going to be a big step of being able to manifest what you want in your life, because as soon as you put that down on paper, you're bringing it into this real world, you're putting it into the concrete, the physical, so that it can blossom and grow and show up physically all around you. Journaling has also been found to really help with memory, cognition, focus, all of those things, which are really, really good to do to exercise your mind. We always need to keep the neuroplasticity, be the fancy scientific word for it, but basically you want to keep the flexibility, the cognitive ability, the memory, the cognition aspects of your brain, and so as you get older, those will stay really intact, nice and sharp. Journaling can really be a good way to help you do that. They've had a lot of studies, or a few studies that have been done on it. One of the other studies that was actually done by, it was a joint study between the University of Auckland and the University of Nottingham, was where they were looking at pain patients and trying to see if journaling could help them. And in the study, they had people with rheumatoid arthritis, asthma, and irritable bowel disease patients, and they found that simply by adding in journaling, writing out whatever they wanted to write, just kind of write, sometimes they were writing about what they were feeling, acknowledging, recognizing what the pain was, acknowledging, recognizing whatever anything is in your life that's bothering you, putting it down is going to make it seem like it's not as big a deal, it's not as important. It might at first, as you're writing that first page, seem hugely important and feel really big, like it consumes your whole life, and the more you start writing, you're going to realize, actually this is just one detail. It is manageable. If it's that you're journaling to help release pain, you're going to start to notice that as you write, not everything is hurting in your body, and pain is always changeable too. And just like anything that's a frustration in life, it's always in change, it's always in flux. Everything in life is always in flux. There's these peaks and there's these lows with it. And it's, if you start journaling, you're going to be able to really release that. You're going to release those undesirable peaks and the undesirable lows, and be able to find this balance that comes with a softer wave in the middle. It's a great idea to at least once a day start to journal. If you feel like you just can't do it, you really don't want to journal, do that gratitude box we talked about a couple years ago, where you're at least writing down a couple things you're grateful for each day, putting it in a box, and then whenever you have those low days, you can reach into the box and read about something that made you previously smile, or made you laugh, or made you feel good for whatever reason. By journaling, it also really does a lot for learning and bringing focus in. If you're trying to learn something new in your life, if it's a new concept, a new language, a new class, whatever it is, if you're journaling and you're writing about it, that's going to sink what you're learning into other parts of your brain, making it go deeper in so that you can recall it better throughout the rest of your life. You've probably all had that class sometime where you felt like you were there, you were paying attention, and the next month all that information was gone. If you want to prevent that, writing, journaling, taking some notes in it, and then journaling in your own time and making those concepts personal for you. What are you going to do with the information? What does the information mean to you? Different things like that. You can even ask yourself questions and then start journaling about it. Sometimes people feel like they don't know where to start if they're going to start journaling. What do you even start to write? Where do you go with it? Ask yourself questions and then just see what flows from the pen to the paper. And find for myself, it depends on each person, but for myself, I find I really prefer handwriting when I journal because it feels like it opens up other pathways in the brain. For my husband, because we're completely opposite, for him, definitely typing works a lot better for him, but just do what works for you. You might even try it both ways because you might be surprised at which way ends up working for you. But ask yourself questions and then start writing down the answers for it too. If you feel like you just aren't even sure what question to ask, just start putting your hand to the paper and drawing on the paper. It doesn't even have to be actual letters or words. If you just start the flow of the pen on the paper, it might not look like much at first, but you're going to start noticing that as you just clear, you relax your mind, you relax into it, you're going to start having words that start to flow out, and then you're going to have the thought process that begins to just flow onto the paper. And it's very interesting to see what comes out and how you can start clearing your mind with that. Discover the inner writer within yourself as you're doing this too. Sometimes you'll notice that as you start journaling, maybe you love it right out the gate, and maybe it's something you just find is really perfect for you, or you might be finding that you're struggling with it, but the more you do it, the more you find the results are really working well in your life. And you might notice that there's a pattern or something that comes out. You might find that you love writing, and you can follow that as a passion too. Automatic writing is an interesting technique. Sometimes I use that when I do psychic readings, where you just clear your mind. You're not trying to write words, and you just let the pen scribble on the paper, and then eventually you'll start seeing words that start to flow out. That's a really good way to gain access into the subconscious, into the superconscious of your mind. So if you're struggling with a question within your life and you're not sure which direction to go or what you want to do, you can start with that automatic writing as well. So just put yourself into a light hypnotic state or a light state of meditation, and just start that flow to the paper, and then allow yourself to start writing, and just keep the front part of your brain out of it and allow yourself to write, and then just read over afterwards what it was you wrote. You might be surprised at some of the ideas that flowed out. It might really help you bring a lot of clarity to your life as well. You can really learn to discover your voice as you're journaling as well, and pinpoint your own ideas. All of this with journaling is really brought down to a couple of main points. One, to clear your mind, to gain better clarity and focus, and 3, the most important thing, to manifest your own destiny. We talk a lot here about manifesting your destiny, creating your own fate within your line. You are the designer of your life, and so as you start writing, you're bringing that ethereal realm into the physical. I've seen a lot of amazing miracles happen as people started to put it to paper, write it down, and suddenly it appears within their life. If you're looking for a new job, you might start writing down what you're looking for within the job, what you want to appear for yourself, and then suddenly you'll be presented with that opportunity possibly. Or if you're looking for certain resources, or if you're looking for a new relationship in your life, write down what it is you would want to have within a partner, how you would want to see yourself in the relationship as well, and allow yourself to just flow all of those ideas out. Don't judge what you write, just enjoy the process of writing it, getting that out onto the physical paper, and then you can always go back and look at your list. You might want to change them up a bit later too. You might want to add to them, or you might realize certain things aren't as important than other things, but just getting that down into the physical will make a huge difference as you are working to consciously manifest your destiny. We are all manifesting what we create in our life every single day, but you can learn to consciously do it. The power is within each and every one of you to do it. I hope you will take on journaling this week and see what you start to see unfold within your life. If you like our videos, please share them with your friends. We always appreciate your likes, your comments, and subscribing to us on YouTube. Have a great week, everyone.